Hello, everyone. I'm Hugo,
And I'm Jake.
and this is Ask Hugo special number 420 episode. And I'm here to answer your questions. And this episode is gonna go just great. I promise. It's gonna
Yeah.
go real good.
A
So,
little, a little, a little note before we get in. I
okay.
just want everyone to know that the stigma involved, if you're not one that partakes in the smoking of perfectly legal herbs, um, you're not just a stoner person. It's not all Bob Marley and glow sticks and Doritos. We're normal people. Like you see TJ, he's not like a Rasta. It's fine. So like it doesn't change you that much, okay? So we're gonna get right into this, and in between each one, Hugo has an obvious head start because he forgot the rules. But
Whoops.
it doesn't matter. I will be partaking in between each, and so maybe there will be the answers should get better as we go. Mindfully Green asks Hugo, hey Hugo, and Jake, but I'm a parenthetical. What are your thoughts on psychedelics and their boundary dissolving hallucinogenic effects? They, including oregano, such as we have, are the reason I abandoned living life by faith and started exploring science and reason. Have you tried them before, and what are your thoughts about them?
Is oregano considered a psychedelic? It's not. It doesn't have the same
Uh,
effects as, like, unless you're taking, like, really, really high dose edibles.
I
And
would
that's what
say
you're
the
talking
edibles
about.
are,
If you take,
but
like, a decent amount of those, but
well, and you could also do dabs and the oils and stuff are pretty
oh,
potent.
I have
But
never
like just
ever.
smoking it is
Yeah,
yeah. I have a friend that does dabs because he has a head issue. Like he's actually
migraines or something.
medic. No, it's a cyst
Oh,
in his brain,
ooh,
and so he's medically disabled. So he uses it to because he will have hallucinations like auditory and sometimes visual if he doesn't like do it, and intense pain. So he does it medicinally, and he has his he's about to get his card and stuff because
that's
where he lives is about to kick it up a
oh,
notch.
good for him. That's unfortunate though. I'm sorry about your head cyst. I hope it does. Can it pop like a cyst?
Yeah, and he would die.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But if it's in a semi-inoperable spot. He could get it drained, but it's extremely dangerous, and then he would be fine until it filled back up with fluid. It's a fucky situation, and I brought
Ugh.
everyone down. So instead of this,
Sorry
why
about.
don't you try answering? Have you tried hallucinogenics before or psychedelics, and what are your thoughts about them?
I have not. I don't have thoughts on them. I'm sorry.
Wow, why did you pick this?
Softball to start. I thought I'd need it.
I also have not tried psychedelics because prior to basically this year, uh, it wasn't wise for me to be doing any sort of druggage because I was in school and stuff. So I guess this last year and a half. But yeah, not good. But now it doesn't matter. Michael Mitrick asks Hugo, dear Hugo and Jake. Aw, I'm not a parenthetical this time. Thanks, Michael. Do you think being high while driving should be considered a DUI regardless of whether or not you have a medical marijuana card? That's a good question.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I thought I'd throw in some actual, like, relevant questions this time. I think that there needs to be laws regarding it. Yeah, if you're, like, impaired, there needs to be laws against it, just like drinking. The question
Sure.
is a little less cut and dry than it is for alcohol when you're talking about marijuana, though, especially for medical use if you're using it at low dosage. For those of you who don't know, medical marijuana sometimes has different composition where, like, there are different chemicals in it, like THC, which is what makes people feel high, or the CBD and other things which can, like, help you sleep or helps with pain relief. So different strains can have different levels. So it's not quite as simple as just how much weed did you take. It's
Well, and also there's different strains of weed that affect your body differently altogether, right?
right.
Like some of them are. Is it indica or sativa that does the head high? I always mix them up because I'm
Sativa is
always high when
head.
I think about it.
Sativa is head high.
Sativa,
Indica is body because you're into
right?
couch. Into couch. That's how I remember it.
Wow, now I'm going to remember. Thanks for your mnemonic device.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And also, then they do hybrids and stuff, and then there's just different kinds. Then there's different potencies just of the plant itself,
And people have different tolerances and stuff.
Right, and that's independent of your own brain chemistry, like Hugo just pointed out. But also, like you could have an indica or a sativa, but it could be an oil.
Yeah.
And it could be super potent, and you could so there's all sorts of different ways. Also, ingesting's different. Also, I'm feeling a little fancy, so I'm gonna add. You can't see it because it's legal. Some keef right to the top there, just to make it nice and.
Oh God.
Well, we can't just pussyfoot around, you know. And so the keef there is, if for those unaware, it's like the little powdery stuff that's left over. It's think of it like extra cheese on your burrito.
Yeah.
Every stoner just started clapping. Like, yes, this is our people. So yeah. Oh fuck! Almost dropped my phone. That was unrelated though. I'm not there yet. As far as the DUI, also you can't measure marijuana blood levels the same way you can with alcohol.
Yeah.
So because there is a reasonable amount of alcohol that you can have in your body and drive. So and that's different based on state usually. But there's not that for marijuana, so I don't know how you do it. I do think that at a certain point you are dangerous.
Yeah, and
Some stoners will be like, there's no effect. There is.
I'm not even thinking for me, because if I am taking any amount, I would not drive just because I don't need to.
He's also very paranoid.
And I'm very paranoid. But like for people who do use it for pain relief and they're not getting a head effect and it's at a low enough dosage where it's just for like chronic pain or whatever, I don't know. I feel like it's hard to say. That's why you need to make it legal in more places so you can do more studies and stuff and figure that stuff out. I'm sure it took a while to figure out exactly to come to the .08 consensus too, which even changed. I think it used to be...
Well, that's .08 in Michigan. Some places are .06.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Like here, I don't know. Like I'm in a very conservative spot. I don't know what it is here. It could be .08 as well. But you can make it more strict based on your state. So
I feel like we rambled about that for like forever, but I feel like it's probably not true.
You're just at that point where your time slippage happens.
Yeah, okay.
It's fine. Also, kids, if you haven't tried this before, time slippage happens, which is kind of neat when you're watching a movie. Next question.
Jesus.
The last angry man.
Calm down.
You're not asleep or unconscious in your apartment wide awake. Suddenly, God appears. He touches you spiritually. You know it's him. But here's the thing. He tells you to keep doing TBR, and not in any sarcastic or ironic way. What would you do? Well, that's an easy question.
I'd be like, all right, man. That's cool. I have some questions, though. Like, why? And B, if you want me to keep doing it, like, how about you make us, like, really popular? That'd be great. And then, yeah, I guess I'd keep doing it. That'd be cool. I'd probably still, like, every day would be, like, around a 5 for me, but still, like, I'd do it. How about you, Jake?
I think it's impossible not to keep doing it if God tells you to do it, right? And we know it's him.
Probably. What if it's like
this is like if you had irrefutable proof and it's definitely God, no doubts. There's no empirical way to disprove it. It is the facts. You listen. But also that's cool. It's cool of God. Good for him. But it wouldn't be TBR by atheists at that point anymore. It'd still be TBR, but it just wouldn't be.
It'd be like, isn't this shit stupid that totally happened? Isn't that ridiculous?
He's real, but he's also still an asshole.
He's still an asshole.
It changes nothing, really.
He likes people to know it. It's weird. Anyway.
Luke Lee asks Hugo, have you ever noticed that Haile Selassie is God? Oh, there it is.
You made me look this guy up, and he's like the king of emperor or some shit. I don't know. I was already like half this by the time I got to this question, though. And you made me go down a Wikipedia hole.
So who is he?
Some guy.
That's not interesting or introspective.
No, but now you made me want these. I thought
I
the
haven't had
name
a
was
Dorito
weird.
in a minute.
He comes from one of those like coming to America, fake African, like, you know, like Wakanda.
Not a real country.
Like it's real, but not in the sense that like it matters to you or I. So it's like,
like Togo. The
yeah, it's
Republic
like
of Togo.
I know it exists, but if it didn't, it wouldn't matter.
Marley Frost, Marley. In an alternate universe where Hugo and Jake never met, where do you think you guys would be and what would you be doing?
It's an interesting question. I'd like to think I'm wildly successful there, and that legitimately the only thing holding me back from just wild success is Jake. But it's okay. I'll stick with him anyway. Because he's my bro.
Wild success in what?
Just, you know, all the things that come with success. Like shrimp cocktails.
What? No, I think you're skipping a step. You're already at the success part. How are you successful? Like, what is bringing you success?
I invent a new material that reduces UPS's annual cost for box production by 37%.
It's the least exciting goddamn answer anyway.
I didn't say I'm a millionaire. I said I'm successful. It's in the six-figure range.
I think I would be substitute teaching and unhappy. So like 50% of now. Corn Muffin got 2 questions. Asked Hugo, why am I attracted to you? And then follows that up with your cheeks, your eyes, and your tooth they're adorable, honestly. Why am I attracted to you?
You got some problems. I don't know, man. It's not cute. You're sad. You're a sad person. You made me happy, but at your own expense.
Why can't you be cute?
'Cause I'm not.
I think you are. Like a cute little bundle.
I'm not a bundle.
You are a bundle. People just want to snuggle you. You're like a body pillow.
I don't want to be a body pillow. I don't want to be somebody's waifu.
I mean, you could be their is it a husbando?
I don't think it's husbando.
I don't know weeb things, dude.
Senpai is a thing. Senpai? I don't know.
I thought it was like teacher, not like daddy.
I don't know anime things. I've had sex.
Yep. But does it? Zeldy Twipinky Pie the 4th. That Jesus fucking Christ. What's your favorite strain of oregano? Also, do you think oregano promotes creativity and free thinking, or do you think that it's like booze and makes you stupid? Thanks, guys. Fucking love your show. And then he probably threw a shaka bra at us.
The oregano I was partaking of today is called OG Lemon Kush or something. I don't know strains. I don't know anything. I don't do it enough to know that kind of shit. I just don't. So
yeah, I don't know either.
Sorry.
But I do know that I prefer edibles usually. For the type of high that you get from edibles, if I want to get fucked up.
Like, as far as the creativity thing, I don't know. I think it definitely makes me think in ways I wouldn't normally. Maybe take
in stupid ways too. Though,
right?
so
No, yeah, sure, it is. You are
both.
stupid. You are definitely stupid. That's the part 2 to the question. But part 1 doesn't make you more creative, I guess, in the sense that it takes you down paths you might not normally, trains of thought you might not normally go down or whatever. But
that's how the gas mask bong got invented.
Oh my god. That's
right?
a terrible
cool
idea.
But what an awful idea. It's both.
Oh.
That's what weed does to you, kids. It makes you fun to be around and stressless, but it also makes you dumb. AJR asks Hugo, Dear Hugo, my question for the next episode is a pretty basic one that'll be asked a lot, but I'd like to hear your take on it. Why do you think the good is illegal, and over the past 10 years, with it becoming more socially acceptable, why do you think that prohibition on devil's lettuce is still continuing in the US, since it seems like the majority of citizens don't give a fuck? Thanks, guys. P.S. Jake, if you ever need really great oregano in Boise, hit me up. I'm the dankest oregano connoisseur this side of the Mississippi. Well, I mean, California's on this side of the Mississippi too, so, and so is Denver. But maybe I did get it from you. I don't know who my guy got it from. Oregano's hard to get around here.
Why do I think it's illegal? Or, I don't know. There's probably a lot of historical reasons. It could have been a race thing. I know it was actually used in jazz clubs more. Maybe it was like a let's get those black people thing, or maybe it could have just
Mexicans. It was an anti-immigration thing from Mexico because Mexican immigrants and seasonal workers would bring it up, and it deterred them.
That's unfortunate. So yeah, that happened, and then why is it still illegal? I think recently there was a poll that said something like a record number of Americans now support legalization.
It was in the 70s, wasn't it?
I thought it was 60. It was 60%, which, considering the layout of this country, that's not too bad. I think a lot of that's just changing demographics with baby boomers starting to die out, and
Which
younger
is weird,
generations.
They were the ones that smoked it most.
Well, that's the whole hippie dippy bullshit thing. That was like a pop culture thing, but most baby boomers by demographic were even then largely conservative. It was just that the ones that weren't stuck out and they became a thing. But anyway, I just think it's still legal because it takes a long time for laws to change. Now, there's definitely moneyed interest involved too, in the sense that I'm sure that for-profit prisons lobby for stricter drug laws and stuff, and the DEA itself, I'm sure, for funding reasons, wants to keep it illegal, but I think it's also just a byproduct of this country. It takes a long time to change things that are set. The longer things stay on the books, the longer it takes to get them off, and I don't know. It is what it is. I do think within my lifetime it'll be legal everywhere in the country, though, but who knows? I'm not that worried about it. Ugh, Jeff Sessions, though. Kind of a dick.
I think it's illegal because of Ronald Reagan and his war on drugs and stuff, and that worked. The stigmatization of it is the worst part, though, legal or not, because people with actual, and not just marijuana, but because it extends to stuff like heroin and coke and all the other stuff. People that need help don't get it because it's like, you're a piece of shit, you're a degenerate, instead of you're an addiction, or you have an addiction, which is a problem that can be solved with treatment, but they don't do it for alcoholics really either, so how do you expect them to do it for stuff harder than that? Actually, I would argue that marijuana is not as hard as alcohol as far as the peak of it. I think it's initially harder because you get high quicker.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a little bit of time for alcohol to really affect you, unless you're doing straight shots or something. But the highest I've ever been is not even close to as destructive as the drunkest I've ever been.
I agree.
Right, and I've tried to get super high. I've tried to, get super drunk, and way easier to get super drunk.
Yeah,
there's kind of a ceiling to highness, because at a certain point you just don't want to fucking do anything.
At a certain point you just want to
including getting
sit
more
there
high
and melt, or just sleep or whatever.
I think Hugo's pretty close to that. I want a Doritos Locos Taco.
I could chill out. I kind of want to chill out and watch Robot Chicken and laugh at unfunny references for about 2 hours. So.
Oh man, Rick and Morty is my shit during that time.
I've seen it too much. I know everything that's coming. I know all the jokes.
So have I, but
no, it's funny though. I get it.
Yeah. Beck's pendant. I don't know what that means. Who is apparently Hugo's alternate account. LOL. The chicken skin is called keratosis pilaris, and I got it too. Fairly common among fair-skinned people.
I only picked this one because of the profile picture, because I love this profile picture. I think more people should have out of context, horrible, awkward pictures of me as their pictures. So if you don't have a profile picture yet, I give you all permission to get weird screenshots of my face Just do what you will with them, okay? Please. I'd love to see me all over YouTube as some random meme. Just fat,
Wow.
ugly guy, weird, awkward screenshots.
Let's make it happen, internet. And I don't want any of me. If you're considering putting me or you have me, change it to Hugo. And I want to see him in screenshots of other videos
I
in the
want to
comments
see
section.
It. Yep.
And our own. Honestly, if you could get like 10 in a row, Hugo's.
We'll throw a pizza party for the class.
That was the least funny thing I've ever cracked up on. Hey, Hugo and Jake, I have a woo question. So, if you make a clone of yourself and have sex with it, is it A, masturbation, B, gay sex, C, incest, or D, all of the above? A clone of yourself? I don't think they mean like you make a baby and then 25 years later there's another Hugo running around.
No, I think they mean like a duplicate, like a yeah,
like a straight up duplicate.
Oh, I get it. I'm gonna say that's definitely gay masturbation and sex. I'm gonna say it's both. Well, how long have the clone and I been apart? Is the clone fresh? If the clone is a bit like maybe if the clone's been off having its own adventures for like 5 years and we reconnect, and then maybe like we have over like a glass of wine, we're like, and maybe our hands brush against the bottle as we go to. And we're like, oh, and then we decide to fuck for some reason. Like, that's a little bit different because then it has different experiences, and for all intents and purposes, it's a different person. So that's more. So that starts leading it towards gay sex more than gay masturbation. Anyway.
The idea of the dinner and the wine hand brush, that's the best.
I know how
his clone are romantic.
I know how to woo myself. Is what I'm saying.
You would, right?
Yeah.
Hayden Spring, dear Hugo, as a larger gentleman, I would like sexual advice for fat guys. What?
My advice is lose weight.
I don't know. Are you asking like how to do it when you're fat?
No,
because I'm not so fat that it's ever been
question.
Like a physically
lose weight. It's the end.
I want to help the guy.
Get a treadmill.
Well, I for one have never had trouble with girls, so
I'm fat.
Maybe you're just a shitty person, Hayden.
Oh God.
Squid Pie 77 asks, "Hey, fuckerino and fatback." Sounds like bullies from like Earthworm and Jim. A question. Ask Hugo number 4. What? Okay, for Ask Hugo number 4 or from it. Now that proceedings have officially begun for the English Parliament to enact Article 50, the leaving the EU legal thing, Brexit. How do you feel about this? Do you think it's good or bad or what? How do you think this will affect the UK's future? I like that this person used affect correctly, though.
Yeah. I thought we'd take a stab at international politics. Okay. So here's my thoughts on the Brexit. I'm not all that informed on the EU. First off, I do not claim any sort of expertise, which is why I'm going into this saying I have no fucking idea. But from what I understand, the current situation is that what they're pushing for is leaving the EU as a member state because they didn't like the regulations and the labor regulations and the various other regulations that they had to do within the EU. And they felt like they didn't have enough say and sovereignty over their own affairs, so they're leaving for that. But in leaving the EU, they're also leaving the common market, or whatever they call it. But now, the trade deal that they might have to do once they leave the EU to re-enter the common market might also include having to apply those same regulations to themselves. So in a sense, instead of getting rid of the regulations, they might still have them, but instead they just left their role at the table to discuss the regulations at all. If that makes sense. That's how I've heard some people describe it, but I don't know if that's true. But I've also heard some people say a lot of it was about immigration and like mandatory number of refugees that the EU wanted the UK to take in, some people didn't want or something. I don't know. Anyway, I don't really know.
I think it mostly had to do with immigration as far as the reason it won. How about that? I think more people care about immigration than care about their bargaining chip number.
Probably.
With,
and I think
with the EU. You know what I mean?
Right, and I think there were discussions about they were saying that we give such and such amount of money to the EU and funding, that much money could be going to the National Health Services or whatever, which it turned out wasn't even the case or something. I don't know. But then again, I don't know what the net services provided to the people of the UK via being a member state of the EU versus how much money is being put into it. It's entirely possible the benefits they're getting were totally worth it, but then again, I didn't live there, so that's why I don't claim to know. I'm just saying it's a complex issue, but it'll be interesting to see. I know it wasn't very good for the British pound at first, and I know certain companies are pulling out of London because it's going to be harder to function within the EU in a non-EU state, but I don't know. Anyway,
I think it was really short-sighted, and
maybe
it's not going to work out. Well, because England doesn't have enough stuff to trade to not.
Well, they've been working as a part of the problem.
I know what you're talking. Like, I know that economically they're well off. I'm just saying, like, this is like based on economies and types of stuff they have in their country. This is like Michigan or Maine. Like bailing out of the United States and making a go of it on their own.
Well, the thing is, though, London has like a massive financial business sector, so I would say it'd be more akin to a New York pulling out, but they still get New York City, if that makes sense. So they're still banking on their financial system and their financial businesses, financial services businesses to hold their economy. But I feel like it'd be harder to work financial services businesses outside of a large trade union like the EU, so I don't know. But again, like I said, this is total bullshit. I'm high, so I don't know. That's my answer to that question.
I thought that was that's a good answer. I have a question for you. What is it? Nacho cheese, the best Dorito?
Yes, that's the only flavor of Dorito I eat.
I don't ever buy Doritos.
I don't buy them, but my girlfriend likes them, so I'll eat some of hers.
I'm not usually a chip person, but I partook. I inhaled. I definitely inhaled.
I get the whole salty sweet thing.
Yeah. Some good stuff on your tongue, man.
But you always follow us on Twitter at Bible Reloaded.
You follow Hugo Reloaded. You can subscribe, and then you'll be subscribed.
You could donate to our Patreon.
Selling condoms.
Help support our members. Our hard rockin' drug using lifestyle.
Hard rock.
You know.
Yeah, that's pretty close to accurate.
Playing those Zeppelin records backwards to hear the commands of Satan. Or was that Kiss? I don't know what people thought. It was
the commands of Satan? That was the Beatles.
I think it's been a lot of bands.
Wasn't that Helter Skelter?
No, I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, well.
These are the worst design glasses in history, by the way, because there's glitter all over them and they go right on top of your ears and it hurts a lot.
Do you have a pretty big head?
No, it's just there's glitter. Who puts glitter like it's like putting sandpaper glasses on? Okay. So until next time, I'm Hugo. And I don't want to get a DMCA for things that Bob Marley sang. So Jake, say goodbye. DMCA, fair use. But that doesn't cover drug laws. Until next time, this has been the Bible Reloaded.